Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy. Welcome back to another video. Today's going to be really short. I'm going to be making a review about a video that's on YouTube that's like a little short film that I wasn't expecting to be as good as it was, but I just watched it and it was actually really breathtaking, and I really just wanted to come on here and kind of shout it out. So for people who do not
Okay, future editing, Blake here. I wanted to freeze and let you guys know, I accidentally went on a giant rant and complained about the movie Spider-Man Lotus for about a minute and a half, so if you want to just see me talking about the new short film that just came out, skip to the time on the screen.
Last year there was a big short film that came out about the character of Spider-Man, and it was a really big deal, and for a really long time it was making a lot of buzz all over the internet because it was going to be this huge, full-length feature film. It was going to be a fan-made film. It was going to be a really, cool, low-budget version of a Spider-Man movie, and it had a lot of hype going on around it, and one of the main actors and a lot of the people who were working on producing it turned out to be racist and kind of terrible people, and then the movie came out, and it was really, really bad, and as shitty as the people who made that film were. And I thought that was, really funny, but I was really, really, heartbroken and torn up about it because I thought that if it was good, it could have potentially paved the way for people to start making these really good fan-made projects of specific superhero characters. Because characters like Spider-Man, who have been around for as long as they have, where, he's literally, a 60-year-old character, give or take. And it sucks that sometimes these characters, when they get famous and they get popular or whatever, they just continue to use the same rogues over and over again. They continue to use the same stories over and over again. And there are certain Spider-Man comics out there that we might potentially never get to see because either studio interference or because they are constantly having to recast for a younger actor so that they could do the high school trilogy, and then they could do a college trilogy, and then they could do the adult life trilogy or whatever. And it kind of just feels like an endless cycle of us recycling Spider-Man characters. And same thing with a lot of, the X-Men comics. There's a lot of really interesting stuff that happens in the X-Men comics that we'll probably never see on the big screen because they need to get far enough into the X-Men that they can do these weird twists and these interesting, side stories. So, I always thought it'd be really cool if, fan films became a big deal again. And we could potentially, start seeing, people who are, really passionate about, a random issue of comics making a little movie or short film about that one comic book individual that they want to talk about, and it could be a really cool thing. And I think that this movie, this little short film that I wanted to talk about, is a perfect example of this. So, to dive into this, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for rambling for the first 2 minutes of this video. There is a short film that was put out about 3 days ago now. Maybe it's been a week. I'm not entirely sure. Called The Spider. It is a movie. I don't know who directed it or produced it, and I'm really sorry about that. But the main person who acted in it and played Spider-Man was an actor named... Hold up. It's Chandler Riggs? Chandler Riggs. Sorry. I had it in my brain, and then the second I went to say it, I was like, I'm wrong, aren't I? No, but it's an actor named Chandler Riggs. I think that he was in either The Walking Dead or some long-form TV show that was going for a really long time as a young actor in that, and he showed up for this project, and he came and he played a version of Peter Parker, and it was really, really good. So for people who have not seen this or any of the posts about it, I'm kind of gonna show some pictures and stuff of the film. I'm not gonna actually show any clips of the short film because, like I said, it's on YouTube. It's 9 minutes long. You can go watch it, and I definitely recommend going and watching it. Fair warning, it is a horror short film, so be advised. I am posting this video late at night, so if you're watching this right after I post it, maybe save it for tomorrow morning. But that being said, this movie, little short film, was everything I have wanted from a fan-made concept of this for a really long time. Because in my opinion, fan films and fan adaptations of specific things are always really, really interesting because some people out there will watch, Spider-Man, and they'll have an idea. They're like, what would happen if this was a little more realistic? Spider-Man is getting bit by a radioactive spider. Obviously, the most realistic thing is he would just die. But if he is going to be transforming and he's going to be mutating, would he still look like a human being? And would he be able to function as a regular human being? And I think that's something that is particularly interesting about this short film to me is it kind of feels very similar to a lot of Spider-Man's villains, like the Lizard, for example, is a great one. A lot of his villains are people who are regular human beings, and then they'll have some freak accident or they'll do some weird scientific experiments on themselves, and they will mutate into these monsters, these creatures, because Green Goblin is a very famous one. Obviously with William Dafoe's version of it, they just decided to make it like a mental health thing. But like in the comics, there are versions of the Green Goblin where he takes the serum and then he actually turns into like a weird little elf man creature. And then same thing with the Lizard. He somebody who's trying to regenerate his skin cells and stuff like that. He makes this little supplement to try to fix himself, and he turns into a giant lizard, and he kind of like goes on a giant rampage and stuff like that because he can't control himself once he's in that form. And it's something that's always interesting to me is it's like every single one of Spider-Man's villains have had something similar to how Spider-Man just had a spider bite, but all of them, they transmutate. They turn into like giant monsters, as opposed to Spider-Man. He just looks like a regular dude. In fact, he gains abs. And it's like so funny because it's like, that doesn't make sense. And in a sense where like movies like The Amazing Spider-Man, where the main villain is the Lizard, it's kind of like, yeah, why does Peter Parker always just stay as like a regular human? And why does he not like transform or have any like, why doesn't he like get extra eyes or anything like that? Why doesn't he become this weird spider creature instead of just being a, you know, regular person? And this movie takes that concept, brings it to life in a very terrifying way. And the visuals are insanely good for this. I'm assuming low budget. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of research on it. So if this secretly had like $100,000 behind it or something like that, I doubt it. But if it did, that would make sense. But yeah, the visuals look absolutely insane. I love the way that they filmed it. I like a lot of the facts that they have a lot of like news people talking in the background, and there's like, oh my god, this event that just went down, there's a lot of spider webs and stuff like that. They do a really good job of foreshadowing stuff that's going on in the movie. They have one quick little montage of Peter Parker going around and jumping from rooftop to rooftop and being the silly little Peter Parker we would typically expect him to be, but also he's in a whole lot of pain and he's suffering, and the final shots of this movie is absolutely incredible. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't seen it, but it's really good. I really liked it, and overall, I just thought that this entire short film felt like a great what-if scenario, and feels like something that would happen in some of the darker Marvel comics. Like, there's like Marvel comics where it's like Marvel Ruins or something like that, and it's basically like they go to a world where like all of the like Avengers are dead, and like some of the X-Men characters have been like slaughtered and stuff like that, and we see like a version of Spider-Man where like his like spider bite actually like slowly killed him and he suffered and died, and it's kind of something similar to that where it's like Spider-Man gets bit by a radioactive spider, he's not going to be okay, some weird stuff is gonna happen, and I loved it. I thought this was really good. I just kind of wanted to shout it out for anybody who, like me, didn't know this was a thing. Like I said, it's potentially been out for a week now, and I just found out about it. And I'm a diehard Spider-Man fan, and I'm usually really like up to date about stuff like this. And yeah, I thought this was great. I wanted to talk about it, and that's it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for coming by, checking it out. I love and appreciate you guys so much for watching, and if you like it, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Bow.
Back at it again, but that's a relevant flow, so smooth. They calling me Mr. Elegant, like an elephant. I got a long nose, like a president. I've got a few hoes, swift with a stutter. I'm smooth like butter. Don't see it coming when I slip undercover, like a big dog, but I don't bite. I'm still a big broad. I'd win that fight. Come match you and I knock out your lights.